This anime is great if you're into the whole Dami Mami thing. Chained Soldier is the story of a world where portals to another dimension called Mato open up. If left unchecked, the monsters on the other side spill out into our world and cause a bunch of chaos and death. Fortunately for the people of this world, there are objects called peaches which grant people superpowers. However, they only grant them to women. And that brings us to Yuki Wakura, a standard high school boy who happens to be particularly skilled at housework. He dreams of something bigger in life than just being an office worker until he retires, and that opportunity presents itself when he finds himself sucked into Mato. He's initially rescued by the local commander Kyoka Uzun until the situation spirals out of control, and that's when Uzun turns to him and offers him a chance at a different life, one as her slave. It seems weird, yes, but Uzun's power is effectively that of being able to draw out the maximum potential of any living thing that submits to her will. And when Yuki does so, she finds him surprisingly compatible with her powers. So his new life as her permanent slave and caretaker of the barracks begins. Right off the bat, I gotta hand it to the creator for his work in making not only a unique power set, but a really cool tag team hero couple. Yuki's brute strength in his transformed state and Uzun's ability to command it can be pretty fantastic elements in storytelling. I like the idea of the two having complementary elements that, when synchronized, can be highly effective. Uzun's ability is dependent on having another person with her, so it's largely hindered her dream of becoming Grand Commander and destroying Mato for good. But with a partner as compatible with her power as Yuki, she feels destined to take strides towards achieving that finally. And I get that the whole thing is kind of a femdom fetish twist on some shonen storytelling, but it honestly does do a good job of still giving Yuki a chance at making himself stand out as something other than just another pathetic male protagonist. He actually does get his hero moments that actually feel like he deserves them. The world is fun, and there's some intriguing elements at play in the story so far that make me want to know more. Sure, it's still a pervy story, but it's one of those ecchi series that actually takes the story somewhat seriously. Not that it's on par with something like Jobless Reincarnation, but it's better at storytelling than other selections. Oh, and when I say pervy, I mean it. Uzun's powers have a requirement: that she rewards her slaves in proportion to the work they put in. Previously, all she had to do was feed the creatures she subjugated. But Yuki is a different beast. His rewards tend to be spicy. And as far as characters go, they're entertaining, but I have yet to get to any point where they show what makes them worth paying attention to. I like some of them, but it's nothing terribly moving. And then we get to my complaints, and there's some issues with the series that I have to point out that seriously ruin its watchability. Firstly, its story feels way too fast-paced in the beginning. It feels like it's trying to rush itself, and it doesn't take time to establish the story before it gets into the meat of it all. On top of that, the animation fails to impress for the most part. There are times where I get glimpses of dynamic and exciting fights, but the sheer amount of middling CGI used in the process doesn't impress me. So if I had to say, it feels like the studio was pressed for time and really tried to do the best they could with a less than favorable situation. Overall, I'd give it a 6 out of 10. It's still watchable and enjoyable, but it's not some supreme piece of entertainment that really strikes me as amazing. If it were to step up its animation game and maybe slow itself down a bit, I'd like it much more. But the fact is that as it is within the first few episodes, it doesn't exactly stand out to me. I'd even dare say you're way better off reading the manga in this one. But that's enough out of me. If you like this, consider hitting those magic buttons that say like and subscribe, because those simple but free actions really do help me. If you have any thoughts of your own, feel free to put them down in the comments. Hope to see you in the next one. Later.